Hello ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to another New World video. So, Season 5 is about to drop, and up to this point I basically had no idea what to expect from the new season. I'm usually the type of guy to always procrastinate till the very end, or right before the season starts, in order to learn what's actually coming to the game. However, I was doing a bunch of research, I wanted to figure out what artifacts are coming to the game, and I could not find a video of it, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna sit down, go over New World database, pick every single artifact that's coming with Season 5, and explain my thoughts as to which ones are gonna be worth farming, and which ones might actually redefine the meta. So, without further ado, let's go over every single artifact coming into New World in Season 5. Once again, I said I'll be using New World database for this video. They have very good information regarding all of these items, so if you're not interested in watching a video and you want to learn or research yourself or just go over this slowly, you have it here. You go on the PTR section and here you have all the new items being added with Season 5. However, I will be giving my opinion as to which ones are actually going to be worth farming and which ones are going to be basically useless, right? So we're just going to go top to bottom here, start off with Gilly's Gravity. Now, this is a heavy glove artifact, meaning that you will probably be using them for either heavy builds or medium builds. But to very quickly not waste your time, I don't think these are going to be used as much. As you can see, the unique thing about these gloves is that whenever you take damage, you gain an Empower charge that increases the damage of your next attack by 3%. So if you get hit 10 times in a row, you increase your next attack by 30%. The problem with this is it only increases your next attack, and most of the builds in game are actually left clicking non-stop. Like, there is never a situation where you're gonna be tanking damage, soaking all the hits, and do nothing, and then hit it once, and then do nothing, soak all the damage, and then hit it once. I'd say the best artifact to compare Gilly's Gravity Gauntlets to would be Tumbler's Feet Wraps. If you guys do not know, these are wildly used amongst all the medium bruisers in the game. A lot of bruisers actually run this, and the simple reason for this is this Shirking Blessing. So if we just straight up compare Gilly's Gravity Gauntlets to Tumbler's Feet Wraps, which are both used on medium bruisers, for example, we can immediately see that tumblers are just simply a lot better. Now, every time you dodge, which is all the time when you play Bruiser, right, you're gonna get 15% in power. So by simply dodging an attack, you are already getting half the value you would get from these gloves if you were to get hit a bunch of times, right? So off the start, this is phenomenal. Not only that, you also get healed, you also gain Fortify, and there is a 1 second cooldown. So you can dodge hit, you get a big damage. You can dodge hit, you get big damage like non-stop. Whilst this is like super not that good. That's like the best way to put it. What else could you compare the Gilly's Gravity Gauntlets to? I'd say you could compare it to the Void Dark Plate, which is another item that can be used, let's say, if you're going more the heavy route. I think this is, again, just a bunch better, but I guess this would give you more damage. This just gives you more survivability, right? Straight up 20% armor. So TLDR, I don't think this is worth farming. I guess if you're a collector, right, go for it, farm it up. If you don't know where you can farm this, you can farm them in Eternal Pool Trial, which is in Reekwater. So if you take a look at the map, Reekwater, you can farm this in Eternal Pool Trial. So all you need to do is go west on this Uncharted landmark. For some reason I've never done it on this account. You go through the elite process, and then there's an arena. You will need an arena key or orb in order to enter it, and then obviously we don't know about the drop chances, but you can farm this item probably fairly quickly, I'd say. But the next one is going to be Ironheart, okay? And this is the artifact I will personally be 100% farming. I cannot tell you at the moment if it's going to be better or worse than, let's say, Tumbler Feet Wraps. Again, my baseline comparisons are going to be to medium bruisers, which is what I've been playing for the last 7,000 hours in this game. So, Ironheart, what is so cool about this heavy legwear, about this artifact? It's right here, okay, when not in heavy loadout, so you can only use this realistically in a medium loadout, you will be gaining 20% more health, which is actually very noticeable because most of the bruisers are playing 350 con, and increasing that by 20% more, and if you add health on every single one of your pieces of the armor as well, this is going to be even better. So the passives are Refreshing Enchanted Ward. I would probably be adding health as the third perk. Some people will be adding Gravity Well, for example, if you don't have it on a good piece outside of it. But if we take a look at how a normal medium bruiser setup looks like, right now you're gonna have, let's say, tumblers, then you need heavy pants, heavy body, and then you need 1 medium on either glove or helmet and 1 light. So this is just how Bruiser is at the moment. For example, I actually have Gravity Well perk on my legs at the moment, which is slightly suboptimal, so I might need to put Gravity Well on my perk and lose a little bit of health value, or find another one of the pieces, or maybe I'll buy like light boots or craft light boots with like health, grav, and freedom, for example, right? So that might be something that I'll do in order to adapt to the meta, in order to test this item out and see how it feels. Now, again, this I think will improve the value of health. At the moment, conditionings are a little bit better, and a lot of bruisers are just gonna be valuing freedom as a priority, and then something from conditionings, and then grav perk. And then you can put like enchanted ward, grit ward, / conditioning, but the health doesn't hold as much value at the moment. However, I do think Ironheart will change that. I do think we'll see a lot more bruisers playing almost at 30,000 HP. I think it's gonna be like 20 something, I don't know, 27k. Again, I'll make a follow-up video once this is released, once season 5 is out, and once I have health on every single pieces to tell you exactly how good this actually is. But again, we are comparing this to Tumbler V2 so what are we sacrificing in order to have that much health? We're going to be sacrificing a bunch of Fortify, and we're going to be sacrificing a bunch of Empower. So this is going to make you deal less damage, but the survivability is going to be much higher. So that's going to be the trade-off. Is it actually going to be better than Tumblers? I don't know. I will let you know as soon as the season 5 is out and as soon as I'm testing it out. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe for that, right? But yeah, definitely an artifact worth grinding for. You can get it from PvP tracks. If you guys do not know what PvP tracks are, whenever you do any sort of PvP activities in the game, for example, OPR, Arena, Open World PvP, you're going to be getting this salt and this PvP track. If you click K, under character, under PvP, you're going to have your tracks here. And obviously, you can get it from the last checkpoint for 50,000 salt. So make sure you have enough salt banked up, and make sure you're grinding PvP tracks as the season comes out, and you will have a chance to get the Ironheart. And you can get it, it seems, from level 20 onwards, or maybe from level 29 onwards, actually. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting artifact to look forward to. And again, you cannot use it in a heavy loadout, okay? Let's move on to the next item, which I think is also very interesting. We have Nature's Wrath right here. Plus 32 on Magnify, obviously all the items do that. But this one has Nature's Blessing, meaning that Empower expires 20% faster, but you do deal 20% more damage. If this reads how my logic reads, this is a really good item. Now, I could be mistaken, and again, I will do a follow-up video as soon as Season 5 comes out, but this is probably one of those items that are definitely worth farming. So let's first talk about where you can farm this. You can get this item in Zygourmet Trial in Eden Grove Arena. So again, if we quickly check on the map, where is Eden Grove? Boom, right here. Where is the trial? I don't think I have it unlocked. It's right here, okay? This is the trial, so right north of Elysian Shrine, if you guys want to farm this item. Again, if you want to be ahead of the curve, make sure you're farming your orbs, your keys, before the season actually goes out, because I think this is going to be definitely worth grinding for. Now, let's run it back. So why is this so good? 20% bonus damage. What builds would this be good for? I'd say all the DPS builds will for sure benefit of this. Fire staffs, muskets, I don't know, even melee DPS like schizos, anything like that I think is going to be pretty solid. If we take a look at the perk bucket, very good, refreshing enchanted ward, super good for like a mage, honestly. You can add freedom on that, shirk heals, whatever you want, like whatever you prefer. What is this in comparison to, right? What can you run instead of this if you're like a light DPS dealer? Now, in comparison to this, you could be using something like Featherweight, for example, which will give you a bunch more tankiness. If you guys do not know Featherweight, you can pair 2 heavy pieces with it, so it's actually a really good item. But this one's just gonna give you tankiness, whilst this one's just gonna give you straight up damage, right? So I'd definitely farm this, I'd definitely give it a shot. And again, third perk can be anything related to the weapons you're using. I'll give you an example. If you're using Fire Staff, you could put Fireball on this. If you're using, I don't know, let's say you're using BB, you could put a net shot on this. Let's say you're using bow, you could put a bow perk on this, right? It has a lot of possibilities what you can actually end up using it with. I do hope this 20% more damage is actually pretty cracked, so I'll be looking forward to using this on my Fire BB build for sure. Now, moving on to Creed Boots, which is, I think, first a bit of a meme one, honestly. This one's gonna be obtained through the Season Pass reward. Once again, if you guys do not know what a Season Pass reward is, if you click K, you click Season. Right now, we're still in Season 4. As you're progressing through your Season Pass rewards, you're gonna be getting stuff like winged leather shoes, for example, and then when you're level 100, something like quick draw gloves. Will this be used? I don't think so. I think this is a full meme. As you can see, ambush deal 15% more damage and 25% more crit damage as long as you haven't hit the target within 20 seconds. But this is so random. 20-second cooldown, bro. What? Am I gonna shoot a musket shot, then wait 20-second roleplay, do a bit of dancing, and then shoot again? I think this is like really bad. Especially if you compare this to Nature's Wrath. Like, this is just straight up 20% more damage all the time, while these are 15% more damage once every 20 seconds. Not even once every 20 seconds. This is straight up like you can't hit anything, and then you can hit it once. So again, this can only be used in like full meme scenarios. Like, let's say you're with your boys, you're camping like a chest, you all have muskets, and then you're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 shoot. Right? But if you have like, I don't know, 3, 4 friends that do that, like grief a push or something, then sure, I mean, you could run this, but again, this is gonna be, in my opinion, complete meme. Nobody's ever going to touch this item. But again, if you do want to know how to get Creed Boots, you will be able to obtain this from, once again, Season Pass reward. I think this is gonna be a level 20 Season Pass reward. This is gonna be one of the first ones you get. I would not recommend you to ever build this into anything useful. Okay, let's move on to Sin. Sin is gonna be actually a fairly decent hatchet, I think. If you want to main damage Sin, I can definitely see a value that this will give. Now, let's quickly go over the passives. So, as you can see, debuffs last 25% longer, which is, you know, alright. But then Defile deals 2% more damage per debuff on target. So, in total, you could get 10% bonus damage all the time, which is really good. Then you also have Kingly Jagged and Refreshing Move, which are 2 decent perks. Ref Move, maybe not as much if you want to go like strictly DPS. However, if you want to just go crazy, spam your abilities, it's pretty good, and you can add any third perk that you would want onto that hatchet. I will farm this. I will for sure farm this. Now, you may be wondering, where can you farm this item, right? This hatchet. It's pretty damn good. You can farm it over here in Brimstone. If you go all the way to northeast of Brimstone, there's gonna be this elite area called The Wall. You also do like some quests here whenever you do the Brimstone questline. And if you go through the elite area, there's gonna be a boss like somewhere back here where you can fight Colossus of Memnon in order to get the hatchet. Okay, so on the release of Season 5, definitely look forward to The Wall, and there's gonna be a bunch of people farming this, I can assume. So again, the boss you want to be killing is Colossus of Memnon. What else is there to add about this? I don't know, like what weapon would this compare to? Maybe Serenity Greatsword, right? Because like if you run this, you can't run Serenity because you can only have 1 artifact per weapon slot. So yeah, I don't know if this is gonna out the DPS stuff. However, I can definitely see this be super convenient, especially if you're like newer to like 700 gear score, you're about to farm like dungeons and whatnot. The reason why hatchet is so nicely used in dungeons is because it gives you a get out of jail free card. If you go over the hatchet and you go over the fight death tree, this is very useful if you're, let's say, slightly worse at PvE. This will help you out, right? You will not die. So I can definitely see Sin be useful in combination with that. Definitely worth farming. I would go for it, and you should probably go for it as well. Let's move on to Tempest Fury, which is something that a lot of bruisers are pretty excited about. This is going to be 100% worth farming, and this is going to be redefining for the bruiser meta for sure. Now, let's take a look at what this Great Axe does. Momentum. Successful attacks gain 3% movement speed for 3 seconds. Fire Staff users are gonna be happy because you're gonna be dealing a lot of damage to bruisers if you have Alacritus punishment on your weapons, which deals 20% bonus damage to players with haste. This will give people haste. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how this works with stacking up to 10 times. Does that mean you can have 30% movement speed? That shit would be crazy, honestly. But yeah, momentum, very interesting. You're gonna be taking more damage, but you're gonna be moving fast. And then Endless Spin Whirlwind no longer needs to hit targets to continue spinning, and can spin up to to 12 times. So a lot of spinning, and alongside that it also has a really good perk bucket. Refreshing move, base for bruisers, fortifying whirlwind, base if you're playing fortifying whirlwind, and then the third perk is most likely going to be thwarting strikes. Some people are going for thwarting counter, I think that's Scopium. Thwarting strikes is simply the best perk to put as a third option here, I would say. Very interesting. Okay, I don't see a gem slot. I don't know if you can put a gem on it. But then you would only have a 2-perker grade X. Okay, this makes me want to reconsider things a little bit. But again, we'll be playing along with this when the patch comes out for sure. Now, you may be wondering, how do I farm this Tempest Fury thing, right? It's in Winter Runeforge Spoils. So this is going to be the seasonal, like mini boss event. And you definitely want to farm this because you can only get 2 of these per week. So this is definitely going to be interesting, let's put it that way. And looks like you cannot add the gem setting pin in. I did not see this information. So yeah, no gem. So you're realistically going to be losing on about 10% damage. Very peculiar, very interesting. Will it be worth it? I am not sure. I am not sure, because not only will you be losing on the damage, you're also going to be losing on the how fast you stack your heart rune. So yeah, we're gonna be revisiting Tempest Fury for sure in the future, but I will personally be 100% farming this and experimenting with this. I can definitely see this being really fun to use. But let's move on. We have Venom. Now this is definitely going to be very annoying to play against, because I can see a lot of Spear SNSs going for this. I don't see any nerfs for Spear SNS Heavy, Spear SNS Medium. Arguably the most broken builds in the game right now. There is absolutely no nerfs being planned for it. So this is gonna... This is scary, okay? If you're a New World War enjoyer, this item does not sit very nicely with everyone. So let's go over this. It has a poison tipped passive, which means that the heavy melee attacks with either weapon cause poison, dealing 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Now you might be wondering, this is not that bad, right? Spears, I mean, it takes forever to heavy. What you don't realize is if you have SNS, you can also, boom, the heavies are quick, very, very quick, and the tracking is super, super good, right? So I can definitely see this be extremely useful in combination with, obviously, SNS, right? So SNS Spear is gonna, like, skyrocket in popularity because of this, as if it's not already, like, turbo used, right? And then it also has good Trenchant crits and Trenchant strikes. Actually, this is not that bad, because you don't really heavy with Spear that much, but I don't know what third perk you would put on this. Any Spear enjoyers can let me know in the chat. I'll let you guys know in Season 5 what is best to put here. But again, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think is best third perk to use on the Venom. And again, how do you farm this? You can farm it in Siren's Queen Trial. Now, if you do not know where the Siren's Queen Trial is, it's located in Reekwater. We go over here in the Siren's Elite area, we run through it, run through it, run through it, run through it. Once you're at the top, you can unlock the Melpomen Shrine, and then you can just teleport to Shrine and immediately do the Siren's Arena. Now again, if you want to be ahead of the curve, make sure you craft your keys and definitely farm this on release. However, it might be very much annoying to farm these items because there's only one instance per server that Group of 5 can be farming for. So this might be annoying, but we'll see how it ends up being on the release. Definitely an item worth farming, and definitely an item I'm going to be farming myself. So last but not least, Phoenix. This was the item that would completely break the game, and now it is the item that is completely useless. So let me tell you what this used to be. This used to literally give Hatchet passive, okay, so we're talking Defy Death, but for like 2 seconds or something crazy. Basically, it was completely broken, but now what happens is, when you receive the lethal damage, you avoid death and become invulnerable, but just for 4 seconds, after which you'll die. However, at the moment of recording this video, on 17th of March, if you have the Ice Gauntlet, you can click Entomb, and you will not actually receive the killing damage. So, unless this gets fixed and this still kills you through Entomb, I could see IGVGs actually running this, because if you have Entomb available and you take lethal damage, you can dodge out twice, you have 4 seconds, you can Entomb for 2 seconds, and obviously you can then just survive. And you will see there's a debuff basically that happens right here below, above your health bar, and you can see when that will tick and when that will deal damage. So I do think if it gets fixed, this will be used by absolutely no one. Stam Recovery Purify, you would put health as the third perk. I can't really see anybody ever using this, so if they end up buffing it more, it's gonna be the most broken item. If they end up nerfing it to what they did, it's now kind of useless, right? So this is one of those items that could completely break the game, but will end up doing just about nothing. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do think we went over every single artifact coming in Season 5. Please do let me know in the comments which ones you're most excited about. Me personally, I'm looking forward for the Nature's Wrath and obviously the Great Axe. However, learning that there is no gem on the Great Axe, I'm starting to be just a little bit concerned, because with the gem, I would 100% run it. Without the gem, I'm not 100% sure that I will actually end up running it. But regardless, if this video was helpful for you, if it helped you decide what you're gonna actually farm, feel free to give this video a like, maybe subscribe. And also, I noticed I never told you how you get Phoenix Amulet. It is level 80 season pass reward. So back to where I was. If this video was helpful to you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot of New World content dropping recently. And with that being said, I hope you're gonna have a beautiful day. Hopefully I'll see you again, and have a good one. Bye bye.